They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion. I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
A tape no one should ever forget. And yesterday, everything finally dropped. Would be an understatement. Grassley sending out this bulletin. The FD 1023 form alleging that then Vice President Joe Biden was involved in a $5 million bribery scheme with a Burisma executive has been released. It's out. There is a whole lot more than just this release. However, the highlights of it state, during the meeting, asked the confidential human source involved in all of this, asked if he was aware of Burisma's board of directors. The confidential human source replied, no. So they advised him, hey, let me remind you, the former president or prime minister of Poland, Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, to do exactly what? He didn't have the background to help the Burisma board, so why was he there? To protect us, through his dad, from all kinds of problems. But going further now, we have the secondary portion of this letter. It costs $5 million to pay one Biden, and that's right, $5 million to pay another Biden. This didn't exist. This information wasn't out there. You're crazy. Well, who's holding it all back? Well, it's all going to go to this question, which I want to see in the comments. You can comment now or you can wait a few seconds. Is the FBI any different now than the KGB? Big statement, not only me who made it. No congresswoman makes it. And she questions Wray in a blistering line of questioning, and he had deserved every minute of it. But if all of that wasn't enough, in testimony, new testimony, it's now revealed again. The FBI knew the Hunter Biden laptop was authentic, but when asked by a social media company about the laptop's authenticity, the FBI simply said, no further comment. Now, how many of you got wrapped up in that? How many of you posted on that initial New York Post story? And how many of you had the post taken down or your entire profile taken down? They knew well before the election ever occurred that this laptop was real. How many more times will it take for us to see the FBI act against we the people, not in protection of we the people? I am dumbfounded. Although we knew all of this, how much information they have had the entire time. And it, of course, took this long to release it. Well, that's part of the story. This is going to be a well-extended version today. It's going to start here. It's going to extend on over at Restricted Republic. So while you're here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you could join as a member here, I'd appreciate it. Or simply support us at RestrictedRepublic.com. Lisa Haven and I created a platform through our own finances, our own blood, sweat, and tears to make sure you get the news unfiltered and uncensored. This story is the greatest example of that because none of this was even allowed anywhere else. Well, until now, it is. So we'd love to get you there. RestrictedRepublic.com. Use discount code Independence. Watch the full-length version of this broadcast because there is information you can't afford to miss. Get there today. Discount code Independence, monthly checkout. But let's go on a little bit further in this story. Oh, Shapley, you're a conservative plant. You're a Republican. No, you're an honest man. And yes, said from the beginning, you were not given access to the very information and evidence you needed to conduct your case. Well, now it's all coming out that you were 100% right, 100% validated. FBI admits they knew Hunter Biden's laptop was real when they decided to kill the story. FBI actually told Twitter Hunter Biden's laptop was real. when New York Post story broke, then hid behind big tech censors' disinformation sphere. But that's not the full story, because on one hand, they said it's real, and they were immediately corrected by another FBI agent who stated no comment, not giving Facebook or Twitter, not that they would have taken the choice, but the choice to do anything else but destroy every post that posted on it. It would have altered people's opinion on the Bidens themselves. They had all the information. They knew exactly how explosive it was, so they shelved it. Newsweek at the time, fact check, did ex-Intel officials call Hunter Biden laptop disinformation? I love the verdict on this one. Oh, it needs context. Well, we have the context now, don't we? About to show you. The letter, co-signed by security officials, we're going to get there too, followed the publication of the earlier Hunter Biden laptop stories, did not outright conclude that the laptop was disinformation, as Jim Jordan's Facebook post may suggest. The letter does lean heavily towards the conclusion, but also makes clear that we do not know if the emails are genuine or not. Absolutely untrue now, because they had the laptop, they went through it. None of this story holds up. That dial needs to be completely untrue, and the FBI needs to be completely on false. The only disinformation or misinformation or misdirection that was being provided was by the FBI themselves, who put out this bulletin at the time: foreign actors and cyber criminals likely to spread disinformation regarding the 2020 election results. So I need a little definition here. Nobody should provide disinformation. Of course not. However, if you were holding back information, how is that different? And that is what the FBI is now being called out for. All about this story, you remember it, Biden's secret emails. Oh, it's a lie, it's a hoax, it's Russian disinformation. We know nothing. You knew everything the whole time. You never told the American people. And we're supposed to sit here and think that's simply okay. It's not. And Congress is up in arms over it now. Christopher Wray, a big letter here. Oh, that's right. This was censored. But now they're calling him to task. This letter going out to him. Congress of the United States, Committee on the Judiciary, to Christopher Wray, Director, FBI, on July 17th. Well, we can just zoom in a little bit and go to the important little bits. Biden laptop was published. The agenda explicitly listed a hack leak concern as an item of discussion. Wait now. It's going to leak out that you knew it was real? You actually had a topic in your own agenda to discuss the fact that factual information may leak out to the American people? In the line of questioning. So, I'll give you who this was, by the way. Let me back up. I'm getting way overexcited here. July 17, 2023, the committee conducted a transcribed interview of Laura Dehmlow, I hope I got that right, the section chief of the FBI's Foreign Intelligence Task Force, and oh boy, did she provide a whole bunch of intel. According to the information available to the committee, the FBI confirmed the authenticity of Hunter Biden's laptop in November of 2019 and gained possession of the laptop in December of 2019. 9 months before the 2020 election. It goes on. They start putting out agenda points. Agenda stating that, hey, how are we going to deal with a hack or a leak of information? How are we going to deal with a hack or leak of real, true information to the American people? They don't deserve this. At least that's what we have to conclude, right? In the line of questioning, do you recall whether any of these social media companies you were meeting with asked you any questions about it? I do. And what is your recollection? Who? So I remember having a conversation with, or being involved in a conversation with Twitter, and I honestly can't recall if this was repeated to me. I might have been a few minutes late to meeting, or if I actually overheard it, but it was. It was relayed to me later that somebody from Twitter, I don't recall who, I'm not sure who, somebody from Twitter essentially asked whether the laptop was real, And one of the FBI folks who was on the call did confirm that yes, it was. But before, another participant immediately jumped in and said, no further comment. Shut down. If it's factual, and you, the FBI, are there to provide factual information to the American people, what is the necessity to backtrack? One can only assume it is to protect a source or a set of information. Following the meeting with Twitter, FBI personnel immediately deliberated internally about what information on the laptop the FBI would reveal versus what it wouldn't. It is acting as the truth authority. In the hours following the post story, Twitter blocked the story from being shared, while Facebook de-amplified the story, significantly reducing its circulation and prevalence in users' news feeds, as the federal court in Missouri versus Biden explained in damning language. The FBI's action prevented billions of Americans from having a clear understanding about a salient issue in the 2020 presidential election, as was recited by Gary Shapley in his testimony. In October of 2019, the FBI became aware that a repair shop had a laptop allegedly belonging to Hunter Biden, and the laptop might contain evidence of the crime. The FBI verified its authenticity in November of 2019 by matching the device number against Hunter Biden's Apple iCloud ID, and now it's confirmed. Shapley once again proven to be telling the truth, but wait, now we had all these intelligence officials telling us it was a lie. It's not true. It's disinformation. Now all of a sudden they're going to declare that they actually didn't know what the FBI knew? Give me a break. This is an open and shut case. I'm telling you. But now this little snippet here. Representative Sparks gets furious with FBI Director Wray. Republican Representative Victoria Sparks didn't hold anything back while grilling FBI Director Christopher Wray today during the House Judiciary Committee's hearing on oversight of the FBI. You got to hear this. It is amazing to listen to.
FBI's mission is to protect the American people and uphold the U.S. Constitution, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we had a couple years ago, it was a hearing, and I actually, looking on all of the concerns that I've seen was really warrantless surveillance and abuses of Section 702 of FISA. I compare your agency to KGB, and spending 2 years in this committee, reading a lot of reports now, doing a lot of hearings, I am really shocked that your agency is involved not just unlawful surveillance of American citizens, intimidation of American citizens, censorship of American citizens, potential cover-ups of convenient political figures, and potential setups of inconvenient political figures.
That is laying everything out. Christopher Wray deserved it, comparing the FBI to the KGB. And that, my friends, is again just the tip of the iceberg of this story. Absolutely critical information. Need to get it to you today. We're going to now continue on the broadcast. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue yap. And if you want the details of the $5 million alleged bribery scheme in the FD 1023, we're going to read it in great detail. Again, over at Restricted Republic. Head over there now. Use discount code Independence, $4 a month for 2 years, plus 14 days for free. You won't regret that decision. I love you all. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. I'll see you over at Restricted in just a few minutes.